Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I went with my friend John Walkwitz and Dan Stevens, my other friend. And Dan Stevens came back from where he usually lives in South Dakota, back to Erie again. And we went to Tinseltown to see Wonder Woman. And it's been out a few weeks, and we heard how good it was, and we definitely wanted to see it. And I want to thank my friend Tim Sands for making me a really awesome thumbnail. And along with Wonder Woman, I also want to give my reviews of a show on FX called Richie Rich, which I didn't know was on. I guess it was on like 2 years ago, and I watched an episode of that, and also an episode of Hollywood Game Night, which I never saw before. But let me switch it over here. But I want to talk about Wonder Woman first. Now, first of all, it struck me as a little bit weird because I was thinking about, I've been going to the theater a lot recently to see a lot of Marvel movies. I saw a lot of Marvel movies ever since Men in Black. I saw a few Marvel movies before. Usually at Tinseltown or some of the other places. And I was thinking this was the very first movie I've seen from the DC comic universe since the original Superman with Christopher Reeve back in 1978. I saw that when I was in 4th grade for my birthday. I mean, I've seen all the other DC movies, but I mean at the theater. I'm saying, I've seen like them on VHS, on TV, on cable, on DVD, and online. But I mean, this is the very first time I've seen a DC comic movie at the theater since 1978 Superman. It's kind of like, dang. I've been going to see a lot of the Marvel ones. Now there are going to be so many. Someone had like a grid of superhero movies coming out and when they're coming out over the next few years, and there's probably going to be some clunkers in there, but Wonder Woman was not one of them. And I wanted to say one thing before it. In my heart, as a kid, my real experience with Wonder Woman was the Saturday morning cartoon of the Justice League, and also, of course, the incredible TV series, which I thought was in the 80s, but I looked up online, and it said it ran from 1979 with Lynda Carter. In my heart, Lynda Carter will always be Wonder Woman, because that's what I knew growing up. Just like Adam West will always be Batman, because that was the very first Batman show I saw when I was a kid. Like I said, I saw it in the house in Albion. I remember getting up and watching Cesar Romero play the Joker for the very first time. And that was my very first time seeing a portrayal of the Joker ever in live action, which was really neat. Just like for Superman, it's like a cross between George Reeves from the black and white TV show and Christopher Reeves from the original 4 Superman movies. And like Lou Ferrigno will always be the Incredible Hulk, because like Incredible Hulk is like in CGI, but he's the first ever and only probably live action Hulk. And like I said, some of the other ones that starred in some of the shows, I don't remember them as well. Like Red Brown, I don't really remember him that well as Captain America. I just saw the show, and some other ones, but those really stuck out, like Lou Ferrigno especially, and Lynda Carter's Wonder Woman. And she held the reins for the longest time. I know my dad had a thing, and I had a thing for her too. I tried to watch a handful of Lynda Carter movies on DVD, like sold, and there was like 1 or 2 other ones. I can't remember what they're called. And it was cool. She wasn't in this. I don't know if they were trying to work out but she'd have a guest appearance on there. But I watched the credits. I stayed all the way through the ending credits, right? Because I thought there'd be another scene in there. And a bunch of people were doing that. And there wasn't an extra scene in the movie towards the ending credits. So, I mean, you see a cool digital display when the credits go off. You know how they have like say like they have like a exciting thing with like a cartoon sequence during the ending credits. You know what I mean? They do during most movies. But they don't have like an extra scene at the end of the credits. But they had like a special thanks, and they had Lynda Carter on there, which I thought was really cool. So she was mentioned in the movie. She should be, because she was the one that held the rings playing a live action version of Wonder Woman. Well, anyways, we went to see the movie and it starred Gal Gadot, I keep wanting to say, make sure to say instead of Gore Vidal, which is someone completely different. And she did an awesome job as Wonder Woman. And this one was like, she's on this island that created by Zeus to hide her from Ares, the god of war. And there's like a thing of all Amazon women, and all of a sudden, like the island is like obscured by like fog and cloud. You can't find it, and then you pass through a shield, and you're right there. Like this one, you know, they're training and stuff. She's like a little kid, and the queen said, "I don't want you trained, Diana. You know, just be a kid and stuff like that." And then Diana was like, "Well, I want to do some training too." She was real little, and this one girl was helping her train against her mother's wishes. Her mother was the queen of the Amazons, and it was and you see her training and then you see her as a adult growing up. Well, she was like in her 20s, and all of a sudden you see this plane crash. It goes right through there, and she jumps in and saves this guy, this pilot crash. And that was Steve Trevor, if I'm not mistaken. And then all of a sudden you see like he's being chased by the Germans. This is supposed to be World War One. I keep thinking World War II, but World War One. And then they find out the place, all the Germans, and they have a big shootout and stuff with. I don't want to give away too much. And then he was saying that he needs her to go with him to help save all these people. He was like a spy. And she goes and she helps him along fight the war. I don't want to give away too much more, but it's really good, and there's lots of comedy in it too. Very well done, very funny. Like she's like a fish out of water because she doesn't know things outside her island. She doesn't know the fashions on, well, what are the fashions were, but it's very conservative back then. She had like the skimpier outfit, you know, skimpier warrior Amazon outfit. And, you know, she never seen a guy before until that guy came down. And lots of humor in it. A little bit of the Dirty Dozen. He was trying to assemble this mission. A little bit of the Dirty Dozen, too. A little bit, but there wasn't a dozen people, a handful of people. And the action scenes were very well done. A lot of slow-mo in the action, but lots of neat positions. Lots of CGI, but she did a lot of... she studied dance and stuff like that, so she had some really good moves in there. Very well done. I liked how the action wasn't edited in a way like... Oh, God. Resident Evil Final Chapter, which was unwatchable. He didn't say it was unwatchable because the editing was so bad in that. This one, the editing was really nice and things were allowed to happen. And you really got into the movie and you really cared about the film. And it's a long movie. It's like 2 hours and 21 minutes. But in order to save time, it doesn't seem like it's rushed. Like they edit out a bunch of stuff so the movie doesn't seem rushed and stuff like that. It takes its time telling the story. Because there's stuff on the island and stuff on the one, then there's like a first, second, and a third act, but it takes its time telling the story, and you really get involved with the character, especially Wonder Woman herself, which was a very strong female character. A lot of, that's Maggie using the litter box. A lot, Maggie. I know a lot of girls were going to the movie because it like it empowers women and stuff too. By the way, I'm drinking Diet Squared. It was on sale at Walmart, half case for $3.33. This is really good stuff. I love it. 10 out of 10. I probably reviewed it before. I'm looking for Sundrop. I don't know what the heck happened to Sundrop. Well, anyways, going back to Wonder Woman, the action is done, and you can really clearly tell what's going on. It's a very, very good movie. I saw, you know how they have, like, little mistakes and stuff in the movie? I saw one. I thought I'd mention it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to film at all. There was a part where, like, the sword is concealed on her body, and you can't really see... Well, you know where it's at, but when she runs, you can see the handle of the sword shaking like you know it's rubber. That's the only mistake I saw in the film. I mean, but I'm not putting the movie down at all. I mean, the movie's fantastic. It's very good. Very well done. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes. It doesn't seem long at all. It takes its time. It's paced very well. It's funny. It's serious. It's very. I mean, it's heartfelt too, and it's a great movie. And I think it's a little bit different because we never seen a Wonder Woman movie. I guess there was a Wonder Woman. There was a couple Wonder Woman animated things, and there might have been a Wonder Woman TV movie which I never saw with Cassidy Crosby. Or I think I saw in there. I'm not sure. Back in '75, I don't remember that. I probably saw it. But I think it's really good. I can't recommend it enough. I know John and Dan really liked it. I know had we were going to movies and stuff, we haven't been to movies since Alien Covenant, and then John was saying his brother and his son, his brother's son said it was really good. I wanted to see it, but whatever John wanted to see, it's up to him. If he wanted to go or not, because he has a busy schedule too, and there's some other movies down the line because you can't see every one because it's not like the doll theaters around anymore. Where you see a bunch of movies for like $1. It came about $1.50, I think. But I mean, at Tinseltown they lowered their prices, and now it's like $3.99 a person. So that's not bad. I don't think it's a bad deal. And Wonder Woman is definitely worth the money. It's a full-on town. I really enjoyed it. And I can't recommend enough. And it was weird because I know Leather and Jade, or Stephanie, was talking about that, and she said that she saw the original Superman. She mentioned the original Superman when she was talking about Wonder. She mentioned the original Superman with Christopher Reeve. Seen it when she was 3 years old. I saw it in 4th grade, so a little bit older than her, but yeah, it was kind of cool, the correlation on that too. And also, I said John's got a great sense of humor, and he beat me to a joke, as usual, because his comedic mind is really fast. Mine is fast too, somewhat, but I was searching for the words, and he said it before I did. Because we were going to the theater, and it was like number 3 down this way. Usually we go the other way. That's what a lady said it was. And I was passed by movies. I said, "Oh," and it said My Little Pony's coming out. I said, "My Little Pony the movie." Oh, I said, "My Little Pony the movie." Oh, right. Just joking around. John said, "Are you a brony?" I said, "No." And I was going to say it, and I said, "No. Are you a Joe brony?" That's what I was going to say. Like, dang it, John beat me to it, as usual. But there you have my review of Wonder Woman. Very great movie. I really enjoyed it. Tony Townsend should review it too. I said whenever I get a chance. I mean, it's fantastic. I really loved it. And very much. And then I know Mr. Happy, Greg, was saying that he was saying it was a long movie, and then he's saying that his son Q was surprised that he was watching the movie, and he said he could have ran another 2.5 hours, and he wouldn't have minded. So he really liked it. I thought the movie was fantastic. It really killed it. Great film all around. Now I want to talk about Richie Rich. I know one time I was growing up, along with different comics, they had Harvey Comics, and they fancied stuff like Little Lulu, Casper, Richie Rich, and like Baby Huey and stuff like that. And those are cartoons too. And I remember Richie Rich, and then in Saturday mornings they had a Richie Rich comic cartoon show, which I loved. And they had that one girl, the robot, and Dollar the dog and stuff like that. Let me look up something. Let me see before I say something. And that was a great, very entertaining cartoon on Saturday mornings, and it was a big fan. And then I remember in Fort Bragg. Let me see something. Oh, they didn't go too high. Let me see. Oh, it wasn't on that long. Let me see. This her? No. Go back. I'm getting a little distracted, but I want to figure something out. Let me figure something else for you. Harper Rich main role. What the hell? Huh. Well, whatever. I saw, well, along with that, Richie Rich in 1990 and 91, they brought back, they had something on Sunday mornings, like thing for Hanna-Barbera, and it was like an hour-long show. And then one and a half was like a newer show called Fantastic Match, which I really liked. And then Richie Rich, and they're both very entertaining. It reminded me how much I liked Richie Rich. Let me see something. No. Well, it don't matter. Well, anyways, back in the early '90s, they had a comic strip movie with Macaulay Culkin called Richie Rich, what I really enjoyed too. I barely remember it. I got distracted. I'm sorry. Trying to do this in one take. And I liked the film, and then I saw it just by accident on Netflix, looking through the kids thing. I watched one episode and it sucked so bad, it was awful. I guess it was only on for 2 years. There's 22 episodes. One episode was enough for me, and they said he had $1 trillion, but boy, it was really dreadful. I mean, it looked really cheap too. It looked like something from the Disney Channel. But Netflix made it, and that show sucked. I give the cartoon Richie Rich a 10 out of 10. I don't remember the movie well enough. I'd probably say the movie 8 out of 10, and then the TV show Richie Rich maybe a 1.5 out of 10. It was dreadful. I hated it. Now, that's my review for Richie Rich on Netflix. Now, I also want to talk about Hollywood Game Night. Now, this was a show that was been on for about 5 seasons so far. I remember when I first saw the commercials for it, it looked really stupid. I said, I'm not going to waste my time with this. And then, I just never gave it a second thought. And usually it was on at 10 o'clock, while I was at work. Or it was on against another show, and I just didn't think of anything about it. I remember my dad watches some of it with my dad. This isn't too bad. And I kind of just forgot about my dad. And my dad said it's actually a pretty decent show. And I ended up Thursday night, you have a new lineup. There's supposed to be Hollywood Game Night, The Wall, which is like that show with like the balls and that play like Plinko. That's a great show. That's a 10 out of 10 on that one. But Hollywood Game Night, I actually end up enjoying. It takes a bunch of explanation because they do a bunch of like smaller, goofier shows, and it reminds me of like the homey atmosphere of like Win, Lose, or Draw, which was like when it was Lynda's heyday in the morning time. Back in the 80s, it was just like a live studio audience with just very cheaply done. And Burt Reynolds was in it, and Burt Convy. I think Burt Reynolds and Burt Convy helped produce the show, and it was a great show. And this show is this show is a little more extended and goofy, and they have like 2 different TV show teams against each other. And it was Veep, and then like people from The Walking Dead, including like the guy with the mullet and Maggie, not my cat, but the girl who played Maggie, and the other girl, I can't remember her name. And that show is actually quite good from what I've seen of it. I'd probably give that 8 out of 10. Would I watch it again? Yes. I don't know why I waited so long to see it after 5 seasons. But it just, the way they presented it, it looked stupid. But it's very silly, but silly, innocent fun, a little bit raunchy and stuff, kind of. It's got that humor to keep the adults interested. I don't think it's a bad show. Well, there you have it for my reviews of Wonder Woman, the main review. And then Richie Rich on Netflix, which I got distracted looking up some information. I liked the robot that played Winona. The girl who played her. But, I mean, the show was just so lame. Terrible. And also, Hollywood Game Night. So there's my review of Wonder Woman, which was the main review anyways. So I hope you liked this video. Until next time, bye please. Take care, my legion. Yeah, baby. Yeah.